You know that old saying, give them enough rope and they'll hang themselves? Well, that's exactly what happened when the Fox Creek Estates HOA decided to accidentally build 96 luxury homes on what they thought was abandoned pastureland. Too bad they didn't know that pasture was mine, and I'd set a legal trap just waiting for someone to step in it. My name's Eli Garner, and my family's owned 312 acres of undeveloped Texas land outside of Austin since 1894. For years, it's been mostly leased out for cattle grazing and seasonal hay, but I've always kept a tight watch on the title and zoning. Now, the strip in question, 42 acres near the edge of our property, had once been part of a state highway expansion project that never happened. That parcel had weird boundary lines, and the original survey records were handwritten from 1952. In other words, easy pickings for a shady developer looking to mistakenly encroach a few hundred feet past their legal limits. And sure enough, in 2020, I saw ground being broken just a little too close for comfort. I drove over and asked the foreman where the property line was marked. He said, "Our engineers handled all that. We've got permits." I asked for the documents. He shrugged. Red flag. Over the next year, I watched from a distance as Fox Creek Estates, led by developer-turned-HOA president Clint Reamer, built up a neighborhood of 96 McMansions. Gated entries, fountains, tennis courts, the works. I also noticed that their back fences didn't stop at the legally recorded easement. They ran right into what had once been a cattle grazing field. My field. But here's where it gets good. See, I'd had suspicious inquiries on the land years earlier, and I knew someone was eyeing it. So I hired a legal team to resurvey the area, then quietly resubdivide the land into commercial plots under Shell LLCs, and registered it under a 99-year non-revocable agricultural trust. In short, even if someone tried to grab it, the title chain was watertight, and ownership was buried under layers of legal protection. I also had it zoned in a way that would prevent any housing development without express consent, mine. But I didn't say a word. Instead, I let them build. Let them pour driveways, lay sewer lines, even sell 73 of the 96 homes to families who thought they were buying clean, legally sound real estate. Then I made my move. In March 2024, my attorney served Fox Creek Estates HOA, the developer, and the title insurance companies with a full legal challenge to the property boundaries, backed by official county maps, historical surveys, and our zoning protections. The HOA's reaction? Panic. Turns out, 40 of the homes were either partially or entirely built on my land, and all of their utility lines, sewer systems, and drainage ponds, right through my registered parcel. Worse, the title company had relied on incomplete surveys and assumed boundaries. The HOA tried to argue it was an honest mistake and offered to negotiate an easement. We countered with a $48 million claim, either buy the land at our price or start evacuating homes. What followed was a year-long legal brawl. The developer went bankrupt trying to shield themselves. The title insurance company offered a $9 million settlement, which we declined. The court granted us full injunctive rights to the land, including the ability to block access, terminate utility easements, and force cessation of sales. When the dust settled, we won everything. A judge ruled that the homes were built in gross negligence of land title boundaries, and that we had every right to claim damages, lease rights, or force removal. Rather than bulldoze 96 luxury homes, I struck a deal. We created a 99-year lease agreement where each homeowner would pay my trust a monthly land use fee of $1,250, with clauses allowing me to raise the rate every 5 years. That's over $1.4 million a year in passive income, and the land's still mine. I even added a clause. Anyone who doesn't pay within 90 days forfeits occupancy rights. It's perfectly legal under Texas law. Now, I sit on my porch with a glass of sweet tea and watch landscapers mow lawns I technically still own. HOA President Clint Reamer? He's now living in an RV outside San Antonio. Turns out, it's hard to run a luxury community when you forgot to check who owns the dirt under it.